Welcome back to CSS Beginners Course Lesson 4, the box model. In this lesson, we'll cover the box model, margin, borders, and padding. CSS uses a box model to describe the design and layout of an element. So the box model is basically a box that wraps around every HTML element. Going from the outermost is the margin, which sets the space around the element, the border, which is a visual spacing of the box, the padding, which is the space between the border and the content. In this lesson, we'll continue working on our cooking blog. So, in our code, let's start out with margin. Let's go to our blog post here, and we'll add margin. Now we can add margin to each side of our div, or we can apply the same margin to all four sides by simply writing it once. So let's add 24 pixels of margin to our document and take a look at it in the browser. Now as we look here in our browser, we can see that instead of going all the way each side of the page, we now have some space between our div and page. We can check it out further by using our Chrome Developer tool, and we can highlight it here and see where our margin is on the page. Now there's no border, no padding, but we do have our content. So let's go back and take a look at borders. Now let's add a border to our blog post div. First, we'll add a border style. And we'll do a solid border. And we'll add a border width. And we'll make it 4 pixels. And a border radius to kind of round out the corners of our border, and we'll do 10 pixels. Now let's go take a look at borders in our browser. So now we can see we have a nice white border surrounding our blog post and making it look more like a card. Let's go take a look at it in DevTools. And we see our margin and our border. Now let's go back and add some padding. We can add padding by simply doing padding and the amount of pixels we want of padding. Or we could do padding each of the sides. We'll stick with one padding size of 24 pixels in this example. And let's go back and look now at how it affects our content. Now we can see by adding our padding that our content doesn't run all the way to the inner edges of our div and gives it a nice look. In the next lesson, we'll cover backgrounds and we'll begin to create a header for our blog page.